Hey PJs, glad to see you snuggling back into another video. Today I am doing a Rodem slime review. If you guys did not check out my last review, I did Rodem slime versus slimy palettes. I would definitely recommend checking that out. That is on my channel. In that video I did review two of the slimes that you will see me unpacking, but in this video I will be reviewing the other three slimes that I purchased. Besides the slimes, I also got this little packet of extras, which included a packet of borax, their business card, and a piece of candy. I purchased these slimes right before Christmas, so when I got them, they were in these cute Christmas bags. I thought it was so adorable. It was like opening gifts on Christmas again, and they're so cute. I definitely need to find a way to repurpose these bags because they are really good quality, and they're just so adorable. I love this idea. When I get the chance to do a Christmas restock with my slimes, I'm definitely going to have to wrap mine in wrapping paper. I think that is such an adorable idea. These are the slimes that I'm going to be reviewing in this video. There are 4 in total. One of them is an extra, and the other 3 I actually purchased myself. All of the slimes come in 7-ounce dome lid containers with their Rodem Slime Shop logo on the top and the slime name logo on the side. Starting off with the extra slime, this is a plain white, squishy, and very soft clay slime. I wasn't sure what it was scented, but to me it smelled like steamed vegetables. It was definitely something savory. There was a slight sweetness in there that I couldn't put my nose on. I just couldn't figure it out, but for the most part it smelled like steamed vegetables, and I wouldn't mind it, but it was a very strong scent, so definitely not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of savory scents in slimes, but regardless, this was an amazing texture and it was extremely soft. I know that the popular opinion with slimes is to have and purchase ones that are completely decked out with stuff. They have amazing scents and there's different colors, even like multiple colors and a ton of different add-ins, but I think I'm the exact opposite. I enjoy those plain white slimes that have nothing in them. I can even enjoy ones that don't have anything besides glue and borax. I don't know why, I just find them so aesthetically pleasing, so I did love playing with this one. Something about plain slimes grabs my heart. Starting off the review, we have Crispy Kirby, which is a multicolored clear glue based snow fizz slime that comes with a little packet of add-ins that you get to add to the top yourself. This packet includes rainbow and star Fimos, heart and flower glitters, some sequins, and a Kirby charm. And this is scented like cherry. When I first began to play with this slime, I noticed how packed it was with snow. Like, it has got to be the most packed snow fizz I have ever felt, to the point where it was kind of falling apart. It's definitely one of those types of snow fizzes that you have to work with, and the more you play with it, the stretchier and more together it will get. It's hard to explain, but you have to have a lot of patience with this one. I loved mixing the two colors together, and when fully mixed it becomes a very light orange, which I think is so beautiful. I personally think that orange is such an underrated color with slimes. I don't see a lot of slimes with said color, and I love that with this slime in particular, the orange is so light that in certain lighting it will even look yellow, so you kind of get two colors with this one. I'm obsessed with how light this slime is. I don't know exactly what made it this light, whether it's the base or how much snow fizz there is, but it's not one of those dense snow fizzes. It feels like if a cloud was crunchy, and it's probably one of the lightest feeling slimes I have, like in volume. It's not heavy. It's so cool. There is, however, of course, a downside to how much snow fizz there is. There's quite a bit of fallout on my hands and on my desk, which can get quite annoying, especially if you're playing with this particular slime like on the go and you're not over a table. It will leave a lot of residue on the ground or wherever you're playing with it. And as much as I think the sequins are cute and I really like them in this slime, they also don't like to stick to the base, usually because sequins just hate slime, which I mentioned in my last video, but also because of how much snow fizz there is. So I think if there was a little bit less snow fizz, I think it would fix both problems. I know I keep repeating myself, but I can't tell you how obsessed I am with how light this slime is, and it inflates over double its size, which is so satisfying, and the bubble pops and crispiness is so perfect. I wasn't sure about the scent since it was scented like cherry, and that can always be a toss-up for me, but to me it smelled like cherry cough syrup mixed with kind of like a cotton candy smell, so it was like a really sweet cherry cough syrup smell, which isn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad. I love the texture on this one, but because of all the snow fizz fallout, I'm going to give this one 4.5 out of 5 pajamas. Next up is fresh pear juice, which is a coated jiggly clear slime scented Asian pear, and it comes with 2 leaves and a pear juice charm. Going off of what I said earlier about plain white slimes being so pleasing to me, the same is with plain clear slimes. Of course, this isn't completely plain, but it's pretty much on the same level. I find it so satisfying, especially the fact that it's so clear and plain. I get to see my hands go through the slime. I just find it so cool, and the fact that I can see my desk through the slime, I don't know, I just find it so satisfying. And what's even better is this is a coated jiggly clear, which is becoming one of my favorite slime textures. I love coated slimes because residue is my #1 worst enemy when it comes to slimes. I just absolutely hate it when slime gets on my hands and sticks when I don't want it to. So the fact that coated pretty much takes away that problem is a godsend. I've also become quite obsessed with jiggly slimes, whether they're semi-jiggly or completely jiggly. I love the little jiggle that they give off when you mess with it. It's just so cute, and I think, in my opinion, they give off the best bubble pops. I love thin slimes. Going off of what I said about coated clears, this is the perfect representation of what I'm talking about. This slime is so perfect. There is no residue whatsoever. The bubble pops are so juicy and delicious and satisfying. I love it. And a bonus, since this is a jiggly slime, it clears up like 5 times faster than a regular clear slime. It's so awesome. The charms that were provided with this slime are the cutest things ever. Firstly, those little leaf charm things. They're like squishy plastic kind of. They are some of my favorite charms because they look like realistic leaves, and I'm all about nature, so I love them so much. And it comes with a little pear juice bottle, which is so detailed. I wish I had shown it closer to the screen so you guys could have seen it. It is just so perfect. Like mentioned, this slime is scented Asian pear, and while I've never smelled that scent before or tried an Asian pear, it smells like a really fresh, juicy pear. So I'm assuming that's pretty close to what the scent is supposed to smell like, but I think it smells awesome. It smells like really fresh fruit, very fresh scent, and I definitely want to eat it. Even if you're not a fan of jiggly slimes, I 100% recommend this one. It definitely deserves 5 out of 5 pajamas. Lastly, for this review, we have Christmas Cake 2, which is a DIY clay slime scented like candy cane. It comes with a clay cake, some Christmas toppings, and a snowman charm that you get to add to the top. Weirdly enough, this slime didn't come with a slime label on the side telling me what it was. Of course, I knew what it was, but I'm assuming it was because there's a red ribbon tied around the container, but I would have loved to see a slime label. I knew this slime was going to be a good one the second I touched the base. I have been, like I said, obsessed with jiggly slimes, but if you use a jiggly slime for a DIY clay, in my opinion, it makes it 100 times better because it makes the clay slime so inflating and fun to play with, and it still keeps some of that jiggliness. And this was a semi-thickly base. I think it had a little bit of clay in it. Regardless, I thought it was amazing. I am beyond impressed with the clay sculpture for this slime. It looks exactly like a cake, and it even has little slices kind of dented into it. It is so cool. It's got to be one of my favorite DIY clays I've ever seen. Plus, mixing it into the base was really fun. It was quite messy because I don't know how to behave myself with clay slimes. I try to make it look really cool when mixing it and satisfying and not just like rush it or anything. But in doing so, I kind of forgot that the base was really thin, so it leaked all over the sides and onto the little ribbon on the side, which really made me sad because I wasn't able to get it all off of the ribbon. So of course it kind of dried onto it. So I'm really sad about that, but it was really satisfying to mix in. I think my favorite part was to see the red and green actually mix into the slime. I kind of didn't think about the fact that there was red and green frosting on the top, so I was like, oh, it's gonna turn into a white slime, but I don't know my colors apparently. But it was really satisfying and cool to see them mix together, very Christmassy. Once the colors fully mixed together, it became a light lilac color. I did have a slight inconvenience with this slime experience as a whole, and you guys probably know where I'm going with this, and that is the slime container issue. So usually when a DIY clay slime is sent, there isn't an extra container for that overflow, so people who purchase it either have to get their own container or have to throw away the extra slime, which is really inconvenient for most buyers. So I would, of course, like I do with any DIY, I would recommend sending an extra container or sending the slime in a bigger container. That way it actually has room for the clay once it's mixed in. Now it was sent with an extra like plastic container. That's what the clay cake was in, and I don't know what anyone else uses them for, but people where I'm from put like pie slices or other desserts in that plastic container. Random fact, I guess, but it isn't a perfect airtight container, so of course over time the slime is going to dry out, so it's not ideal at all. So of course I would recommend sending another container or one of the other options, and I'm sure, at least in my personal opinion, I would pay more to get that extra container. Normally I wouldn't mention it, but the clay piece was so big that over half of the slime would be thrown away if you can't find an extra container. Backing away from the tiny little rant I did, this slime was incredible. Of course, like I mentioned, with the jiggly base, this was extremely inflating, still kept some of that jiggliness, and was very chubby, which is one of my favorite clay textures now. It is so fun to play with and squish. Another amazing thing about a texture like this is that when it's inflated, even completely inflated like this one, there is no residue whatsoever. Even though a lot of clay was added to this slime, it still heavily smelled like candy cane because the base was really heavily scented, which I really enjoyed. I loved every aspect of this slime, so it gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. And with that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. There have been quite a lot of you guys that have been asking for another Rodem slime review because you've thought about purchasing from their shop and wanted to know my opinion, so I hope this video helped you. Let me know which slime out of this review was your favorite. I would love to know. But with that, I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.